Question number 3. Does the Pope still want Sunday rest? Does he want Sunday rest guaranteed by law? As we've seen in the past, Sunday rest, guaranteed by law, was a demand of the Catholic Church. We saw in question 1, 2. But does this church still demand the honor to Sunday rest by law? Let's look into it. Pope Francis, he says something very interesting. Let's look at their encyclopedia. Laudato Si was published June 18, 2015, given to our U.S. Congress and to President Trump, and to the European Parliament, and endless other politicians. This is what Pope Francis wrote, the Laudato Si encyclical. It's an infamous article. Pope Francis explains the social injustice of ever-growing broken families, poverty, due to the deterioration of nature because of our irresponsible behavior. He quotes the encyclical 11 plus times, okay, to our U.S. Congress, meaning Pope Francis is telling Congress, you need to help the families, the poor, the economy. But I have the perfect solution: Sunday rest. Did you know that the last time the Sunday law was brought to Congress? When was that? When was the last time the Sunday law was brought to Congress? It was in 1888. The Blair Sunday Bill, a national Sunday rest to pass. Blair's Sunday Bill, it couldn't pass due to capitalists. We know what Francis has to say about that. Obstruction. It was big business. However, this is why Pope Francis has a new approach. He focuses on culture, the family, and the poor, and saving the earth, instead of blatant legislation like the Green New Deal, which failed miserably. The little horn is much more cunning than that. 1888 was a learning experience, friends. Let's look at June 18, 2015. It says, quote, church leaders will brief members of Congress on the Laudato Si encyclical Thursday, and the White House on Friday on the encyclical. Joseph Kurtz, the president of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, said, it is our marching orders for advocacy. Very interesting. Yes, Sunday rest for the planet. That is your marching order. And the Jesuit job is to spread the propaganda, because your Jesuit leaders, the Black Pope, the White Pope, popes have told you to do so in the encyclical. 3 years later, we have chaos, all revolving around Pope's 4 points. These are the Jesuit priorities, which were actually created by the Jesuit general himself, superior general, the Black Pope. 4 priorities. We'll get into these things a little more later on. But simply, they are exactly what you'd expect to find. These are the 4 main priorities set by the superior general of the Jesuits. Yes, these Jesuit marching orders are solid and plain for the next 10 years, he said. But does the Pope and the Vatican want Sunday rest guaranteed by law? That is the question we'd like to understand. Let's look. Pope John Paul II, quotes Pope Leo, saying, my predecessor, Pope Leo, in his encyclical, Returum, spoke of Sunday rest as a worker's right, which the state must guarantee. This is what Pope John Paul said just 2 popes ago. Look at something else here. The messenger said, by the decree to enforce the institute of the papacy, violation of the law of God, the United States will disconnect from righteousness fully. When Protestantism will stretch her hand across the gulf to the Roman power, then our country shall repudiate every principle of its constitution, the Protestant government, and make provision for papal falsehoods, delusions. Then the marvelous working, Satan, and the end near. Wow, that's exactly what's been happening, hasn't it? The Vatican has been wooing us, grasp her hand for a few years now with this Sunday rest solution, climate change movement. I think it's working, isn't it? The Sunday rest, the law, just around the corner. In October 15, 2018, the Commies Conference, which stands for the Catholic Church of Bishops at the European Union. Let's look at it here. In October 15, 2018, entitled Shaping the Future of Work and the Labor After Laudato Si. We believe, these bishops at the conference, all citizens are entitled to benefit from decent working hours. Recalling our support for European Sunday Alliance, we're strongly committed to its objective of what? Of reintegrating the Sunday as a synchronized day of rest and European law. Sunday is the only day that allows us to spend time together as a society and to enjoy what is not produced, not consumed, the bishop says at the conference, not bought and not sold. Found at camis.eu is what they said during the bishops' conference. So Camis wants us to have a Sunday rest, the law. Where do we not buy or sell? This is what they want. No buying and no selling. Revelation already prophesied these things. It said, and as many as would not worship the image of the beast would be killed. Sounds very familiar, doesn't it? Question number 1 and 2. He calls it all small and great, rich and poor, to receive the mark that no man might buy, sell. Revelation 13, verse 15 to 17. Now this sounds just like this little horn, which destroyed, eliminated, killed everyone off during the Crusades who didn't worship according to Catholic theology, or excommunicated them, which made buying and selling very difficult. Now please pay attention to the following keywords that are used. They were used at the above Camis conference, and they are always used. Very significant, important words, phrases to remember. Were used in conjunction with Vatican domination. The most common keywords at Camis conference of 2018 are as follows. Sunday was mentioned at the conference 11 times. Unions, plays a large role, 17 times. Common good, 9 times. Solidarity, 9 times. Pope Francis' name, he was in there. And the Catholic, 9 times. Catholic social teaching, 3 times. These are commonly used through the ages, especially important to recognize in today's war, right? A war. Yes, the Pope wants Sunday rest guaranteed by law. That much is plain. So let's move on to question number 4.
Keep watching for the next video in this series.